What the fuck is this doing it again? It blocked me from going live. All right, let's try this again one more time. Let's say all rights reserved. I am Darkman X TV. I am an Ahuak American with the real terms an Arawak American. This platform does not advocate for any form of hate speech or terroristic activities. This platform is for educational purposes, historical purposes of my Arawakan history. Uh, this platform is for the critique of public information as it is put out there in the public. This platform is also for the breakdown of public information as it is put out there in the public. I am not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. I cannot tell folks what to do. Only thing I could suggest to folks is to do your own research on the information and make sense out of nonsense to what's being put before you. Okay. That being said, I said honor to you all. Cherokee Tolu, honor sis, honor Emperor E, N Jones, honor to you, brother Corey Sly, honor to you, honor. All right. Scotty, honor to you, honor. We're gonna try this again. Um, I see like it's buffering, like they're trying to mess with it already so far. Yeah, they're still trying to cut it. Try as they might, though. Try as they might. So if you guys can hear me, just press one. If you can hear me, press one. Because they're slowing it up. This feed is. I'm looking at my screen for the YouTube on my laptop, and your comments are just not coming in. But on my phone, everything is coming in right on time. But on the laptop, it's not coming in. All right. But anyway, we're going to keep going as long as you guys can hear me. Let me try to pull up back this other screen that I was reading. I was reading from before. Yeah, they can keep wearing that mask. That mask is not preventing or stopping anything. So okay, they cut it. All right, I see what it is. Okay, so every time I click off my screen to go on the other screen to pull up the article, the Oxford article, they cut it. They cut the screen. Right. So if that's the case, I'll just read it from my phone. If that's what they're gonna do. Yeah, they're trying to tamper with it. They're trying real hard to tamper with it. Okay, here we go. Mm, mm, mm. All right. Okay, I got it. Let me fix this up real quick, and then we're going to get right back into it. Okay, the cover page without spotting something, right? And this is just the cover page. Oxford Journals, Oxford University of avian infectious bronchitis virus like viruses, coronavirus, similar to 229E virus, with some epidemiological observations. And then it has the authors Albert Z. Capican, Harvey D. James Jr., Sarah J. Kelly, Jane H. Dees, Horace C. Turner, Kenneth McIntosh, Hyun Wah Kim, Robert H. Parrott, Monroe M. Vincent, and Robert M. Chanuk. And it's called Isolation from Man of Avian Infectious Bronchitis Virus hyphen like viruses parentheses coronavirus similar to 229E virus with some epidemiological observation. First of all, I stopped at avian, right? But we're going to get into avian a little later. Let's go to epidemiological. All right? And we're going to if you guys are following me and you're on your laptop, I'd like for you to go on etymonline.com. This is the etymology dictionary website. All right? That's etym ETYM ONLINE.com. Okay? And I want y'all to go along with me. Like I said, I can't screen share right now. I won't be able to screen share until the 23rd. So just bear with me. And I didn't feel that it was right to still to sit on some of this information until I'm able to screen share. I could just, I could just direct it right to you guys right now. And then when I'm able to screen share, I'll just show y'all the proof. Period. Right. But for those who were listening when I was reading the title of the article and where it came from, you can just Google it and look it up. Okay. It should also be on it says where is this? It says source, the Journal of Infectious Diseases, volume 119, number 3, March 1969. Page 282 to page 290. Okay? Published by Oxford University Press. All right. Um it's also on the jstor.org website. All right. And this one was accessed. Who the person that pulled up this file, they accessed it on 12/09/2016. And now I say to you again, people, when your news media to show you the devils or who are devils, right? When your news media, your mainstream news is saying, "Oh, we were doing our research, but we can't even come up with the origin or to what's going on here. We just can't find anything." But look, little old me, little old Mister I think it's I forgot your first name, brother. I know the last name is Cardi, Cardi, right, brother Cardi. Um, Drop this information on me. Boom, right here. He don't work for the mainstream media. He's not all over the news outlets, huh? A simple search, and boom, look at it. It's right here. The actual documents. But they that has all the access to all the records, all the archives, couldn't find anything? Nothing? Come on, people. Wake up. All right, so epidemiological, right? We're going to break down epidemiological. And those who don't know how to spell that, it's Epidemiological. Epidemiological. And we're going to pull it up on first. We're going to go on etimonline.com and pull it up on there. And when you pull it up on etimonline.com, it's going to come up epidemiology, right? And epidemiology is called study. Study is the study of epidemics. 50, it comes from Greek epidemios, literally among the people of one's countrymen at home. Now, all these diseases are not from the Americas. They are foreign to the Americas, being introduced consistently to the Americas. This is what you call crimes of war, right? This is literally bio warfare that they've waged on the people of the Americas, and that's more so the what they call the indigenous, the indigene, the original people of the American land, of the American hemisphere, South, North, Central, the islands of the Americas. This is what this is. Okay, these are war crimes. These are war crimes, war crimes, war crimes, war crimes. Your mayors, your governors, your city councilmen, they all should get indicted. Anyone can indict someone. Okay, they all should be indicted, and they're obviously right in your face, breaking many laws by what they are doing. But anyway, epidemiology. That's what epidemiology means. Out of the epidemiology, study of epidemics, the study of epidemics. To study an epidemic, you have to create one. And when you're studying epidemic, you're not studying just the disease. You're studying the psychological makeup of the people and how it affects the environment, how do people think, how do people react in the environment, human to human interactions, okay, how businesses are going to react. All these things is what is an epidemic, right? Is in epidemics. All of these things. So here we go. Study of epidemics, science of epidemic diseases, from Greek epidemios, literally among the people of one's countrymen at home. Then we cut from that and we go into epidemic, right? To see what is epidemic, right? To see what is epidemic. What is an epidemic? Temporary prevalence of a disease throughout a community. Did you hear that? A temporary, this is an epidemic from 1757, an epidemic disease, a temporary prevalence of a disease throughout a community. From epidemic was common to or affecting a whole people. Originally and usually, though not etymologically, in reference to disease, from to say a state in a place, prevalence of an epidemic disease among upon the people, district. Also see ick. So the IC in epidemic. Now we're going to go to what the IC in epidemic means, right? I'm telling you can't make this up. The IC. I'm telling you can't make this up. You can't make this up. The IC. I see that they're still trying to cut it. I see that they're an epidemic. If you're still on etymology.com, which is the etymology website, okay, which is the origins of words. So the IC, Middle English ick, ike, right? Word form and element making adjectives having to do with, having the nature of, being, made of, caused by, similar to, from French, or from cognate Greek, ikos, in the manner of, pertaining to, from pi adjective ko, which also yielded Slavic isku. Uh, so I went too far down. So here goes. Ik means see, and it says Middle English Ike, making adjectives having to do with, having made off. Okay, made off. That means someone made this disease. Now we could go to Noah's Webster's 1828 Noah's Webster's dictionary. 1828, because we're going to be thorough here, right? No, Noah's Webster's dictionary when you type in the IC. Now it says called a crystallized tritoxide. The oh gosh, I forgot the name of it. When they were speaking about the chemtrails, is it the silver oxide? Is it oxide or dioxide? Crystallized. It's the chemtrails has a crystallized form of iron also in it, and then the vaccines also have uh mercury. Some have certain forms of aluminum. Also within the vaccines that they're injecting in you, which is radioactive. Okay, which is radioactive. All right. Then you go to the tritium, that's a gas that they spray in the air, and that's also turns into a liquid that is radioactive, that is odorless, colorless, and has no taste. Looks just like water. All right. See, again, all of this is coming from the ick when it's iron. That's from 1828, Noah's Webster's dictionary, right? So you got to break this apart piece by piece. Then you're going to go into your Marion 1828 Webster's dictionary and pull up the IC. And when you scroll down, it's going to give you many definitions, right? It's going to give you the noun, the adjective, the noun of it is integrated circuit, immediate constituent. Immediate constituents are like politicians that I know of. The character or form the character or form of being, or relating to aldermanic, related to, derived from, or containing alcohol, or containing in the manner of, like that of, characteristic of, Byronic, associated, categorized, exhibited, nostalgic. Here we go. Now they said that the coronavirus also gives you like a allergy type wheezing, right? Because the folks that it affects the most are folks with allergies, right? So also goes affected with allergic phobic, right? So there you go again. So every bits and pieces of this virus. So every bits and pieces of where this virus comes from, it's within certain definitions of the word. This is why they come up with certain names of all right, so like they call it the novel coronavirus, just means new story, fictitious fake, new story, right? That's novel. Now, give me a second here. I don't. I want to get rid of some of this stuff. Also, this article, isolation from man of avian. Now, this article that says isolation from man of viruses. When I was telling you guys that they were in, people thought I was bugging, right? But then and they're saying that it's in millions of eggs that they've injected the vaccine. The flu is also considered to be the coronavirus. Bronchitis, they're all coronaviruses. Okay? So you've been eating these eggs. Some of y'all don't even cook the egg. Y'all put it raw in y'all shakes, right? And they came out the other day you that coronavirus can be transmitted through sexual intercourse. Bullshit. Because they're saying that's through the semen. It's through the semen of the. You don't even take the sperm out the damn egg. You still just beat it up and throw it in the pot, eating everything. Okay. Now, avian. This is why I said I couldn't even get past the cover page for a certain period of time. Avian, which is AVIAN. Damn. Let's go back on etymology. It's etymonline.com. And show you guys what avian means. So does that mean that 5G can activate this virus? It's radioactive. The 5G antennas can boost any form of signal. You got to understand, we are all frequency beings. We operate on energy, vibrations, frequency. If you build something that could tune into one's frequency, it can alter anything within the body. And look, the folks that's going to be hard to convince are the religious people, the ones that's into the churches, the synagogues, the mosque. All right, these are the ones who are going to be more so the lambs to the slaughter. Okay, because they're not going to want to believe you. They're not going to want to believe you. All right, and then they're going to turn around and tell you, well, forgive them. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. You turn out, you spent when you see a person sit down for years, right? And then it's not even the folks that put the money behind the stuff that are so evil. It is the minions that go and carry out this order, knowing what they are doing. It is those people who I consider to be the wicked ones because they can be your next door neighbors, smiling in your face every day, knowing what they're doing. You see what I'm saying? They could be anybody. You could be on a train, it could be the person on the train next to you. The folks that sit back on the California military base and stay from there and operate those drones that they fly over to other countries and bomb the shit out of women and children. You could be sitting next to them every day. You see what I'm saying? The folks in the church are going to be the ones, the lambs to the slaughter. All right. This is biblical. You know, like when they said, oh, they put the red X's on the doors and then the plague on the locusts, and they knew what doors to go to and what doors not to go to. Well, the folks that they're not going to mess with are going to be those, again, those Khazar Ashkenazi Jewish folks. They're not going to mess with them. They're going to skip past all their doors and they're going to come to your door. Okay? But anyway, avian means bird. Avian, Avian, it means bird. Okay? So when it says isolation from man of avian infectious bronchitis, they're talking about a chicken virus, a chicken bronchitis. That is what they're talking about. Okay? All right. So let's pull up the definition and show you guys. Well, I can't show y'all, but I can pull it up and read it off for y'all. Like they tell y'all what they're doing just in the title of their stuff. You can't make this stuff up. Avian, adjective, resembling or pertaining to birds. 1861, from Latin, avis, bird. Can't make it up. Now, they also have an avian. Uh, Pay attention now. A linking word when you scroll down below it, below avian, you have the awa, the awi, awi, which is awi, Proto Indo European root meaning bird. Also might be the source of wayo, yo-yo, eo, Proto Indo European words for egg. For egg. EGG. Okay? And remember again, I'm going to play back that video for you guys when I'm able to screen share of the Channel 4 news footage when they're telling you that the vaccines were being injected into the chicken eggs that you eat every day and were being FDA and EBA approved with their marks, their stamp of approval on those eggs. Now, if you go back a couple of years ago before Trump was president, see, people are throwing this shit on Trump. It's not. Look, I'm not a fan of politicians. No politician. But I can't sit here and say it's this man. You see what I'm saying? Remember before Trump was president, I believe it was when Obama was president. Bush. When Bush was president, they passed a bill that they don't have to tell you what's in the food that you eat. They don't have to tell you what's in the meat that you eat. And then they started telling you that meat was coming from Brazil. Minced meat was coming from Brazil that had 300 different type of meats in it. God damn, how many different type of animals does Brazil those Brazil farms 300 different types of meat in a packet of minced meat? Where's the meat coming from? Where's all that meat coming from? Huh? They passed that bill. They had passed that law here. That bill here, that they don't have to tell you nothing about what's in the food. And that's when you started finding out that they were selling you rotten food and was using um ammonia to make the food look all pink, the meat look pink and fresh for days, for weeks, and you're thinking that you had fresh meat. Hmm? You found out they were spraying all these different type of chemicals on your veggies and your fruits. Hmm? Then you started noticing a difference in the eggs. The eggs stopped looking like eggs and started having multiple different types of shapes to it. Whole bunch of warps to it. The top looked like somebody broke the top off the egg and then re-glued the shit back on, like they welded it back on. That's how the eggs started looking, because those are not real eggs. Those are 9 is all GMO shit. That's ill shaped. All have different shapes. Well, eggs, organic eggs, all shaped the same, coming from a chicken. Okay. For those who ever own chickens and got your own eggs from the chicken yourself. Now, this is where I tell you that these people always have a heads up before we do. We are the last to find out what's going on. A couple years ago, you saw all these folks creating their homesteads, buying their own chickens, refusing to buy eggs from the stores, refusing to buy chickens from the stores, was buying their own chickens, insisting on growing their own food, all of that. And when I started speaking up about that, people was like, "You're paranoid. I don't see nothing wrong there." I said, "No, there's nothing wrong with it." But when you see that it's becoming a trend like that with these people, something that means something is going on. And they got the heads up to get the hell out of Dodge, or they got the heads up, stop eating this type of food because this is what we have contaminated in it. And Negroes came at me sideways. Many Negroes came at me trying to take my head off. And now today you're paying the price for not listening, for not paying attention, for not understanding the mindset of your colonizer. Your colonizer don't care, okay? Your colonizer's mindset is sick, it's sadistic. These are sociopaths, psychopaths, okay? You have to start thinking like them. They're thinking too much of you, too little of them. So even when they're targeting some of their own people, they're targeting the ones that they deem to be the bottom of the barrel. But while they're targeting them, you're going to be who's really the main number one course on the agenda. You're going to be the main course. And their bottom of the barrel people are going to be the dessert. You're the main course. This is why now, for those who know what I'm talking about when I mention this, how many of y'all started noticing helicopters hovering around your neighborhoods now? How many of y'all start noticing that early in the morning, 4:30, 5:30 in the morning, helicopters are hovering around your neighborhoods? You're hearing them for at least an hour at a time in the sky, not going anywhere. Hmm? How many of y'all are hearing this stuff? The helicopters now in our community. I've been speaking about this from the past couple months. They've been surveying the community. How are they going to lock the community down? Much closer and closer to the ground because that's military exercise. When you see these helicopters going so real, I told you one came like it was coming in to land in my backyard. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. Okay? They're surveying the community to practice their military exercise to when they're ready to jump from these helicopters and come down at you. It's a military exercise. That's what that is. The state police was even doing that. The state police around where I'm at was doing that in the neighborhoods. And no one knows what's going on. How could you? No one knows what's going on. They held no community meeting about it, no nothing. So I just put in for a FOIA. So I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I put in for a FOIA because I want to know what's going on. Why these helicopters hovering around? And they don't do it every day. They do it on specific days, either every other month. I think it's like every other month they do it. They're doing it in predominantly Negro areas. And maybe I'm delusional, but it started happening when we're coming into the understanding that we are the original people of the Americas. We are whom they call the American Indian, not Africans or descendants of Africans. I'm just saying, maybe it's just me. But anyway, this is in the cover of this article that they wrote. Epidemiological lets you know that it was made. Avian goes back to birds, which goes back to AWI, which goes back to eggs. which again, when I played the video showing y'all that they're injecting everything in the eggs. Um, I'm trying to reach out to the other guy named La Prada. La Prada. I'm trying to get him to come on a panel also. If I get him to come on a panel with me and Slide, that'll be dope. So I'm trying to get to him also because he had dropped some information the other day where he put two and two together to let you know that Bill Gates is also into investing into artificial made meats that they've already been selling in the stores that look like steak and chopped up minced meat. This is why they telling you. This is why they passed that bill that they're not supposed to tell you what's in the food that you're eating. This is what we get for being dependent. And I say we, because yes, I'm also in this category too, to have started becoming dependent on colonizers to prepare your food for you and go to their supermarket and shop in their supermarkets and then sit down and let them pass a bill telling you that we're not going to tell you what we're feeding you or what is in the food. Like, how much more do we need to wake up? Seriously, how much more? And where were the chickens coming from? Where were the eggs coming from? China. This is why Trump is calling it the China coronavirus. From the 1960s straight back until this very day. Now let's get back to the article. Let's get back to the article. You can't make this stuff up. Seriously can't. So the article is Oxford Journals, Oxford University Press, isolation from man of avian. Avian, you know, means bird and eggs. Infectious bronchitis, virus-like viruses. We can get into it now. Isolation of man of avian infectious bronchitis virus-like viruses, similar to 229E virus, with some epidemiological observations, and then it gives the name of the authors and stuff from the Department of Health, Education and Welfare, Public Health Service, National Institute of Health, National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. Isn't that the CDC that Dr. Fauci heads up? That's Dr. Fauci shit, right? Actually, yeah, that is Dr. Fauci shit, but it's not the CDC in Atlanta. This is what Dr. Fauci was heading up that Dr. Judy Mikovits exposed. But when she was talking about the National Institute of Health, the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. Fauci was the president for that. Laboratory of Infectious Diseases, Bethesda, Maryland. Fauci was heading that up. Now it says here in the article, with standard tissue culture techniques, it has been possible to determine the etiologic agent of only 20 to 35% of upper respiratory illnesses in adults. However, and it has 1 to 4 in brackets. However, in 1965, Tyrell and Bino reported successful attempts to increase the efficiency of virus recovery from patients with upper respiratory tract illness using human embryonic, tracheal, and nasal organ cultures. Anytime they talk about culture, because you've been hearing the New York mayor say that a lot, culture, and the governor saying culture. I tell you, they talk about Negroes. You hear Cuomo's team will talk about Northern Jersey and New York City, and Blasio talk about testing sites that he named straight Negro community. Okay, the most populated Negro communities is what they're talking about. So be careful of the words culture and all this stuff. They're talking about you. So now you know when your peoples is going missing, what they're taking from them also. All right, but anyway, let me just go through this because I. So it says in 1965, Tyrell and Bino reported successful attempts to increase the efficiency of virus recovery from patients with upper respiratory tract illness using human embryonic, tracheal, and nasal organ cultures. They found that organ cultures were more sensitive than conventional tissue cultures for isolation. Of some rhinoviruses, in addition, they isolated an ether labile virus, strain B814, which could be grown only in organ culture and which produced common cold like illnesses in volunteers. Volunteers, y'all. They made you their guinea pigs. They infected you with something unknown to you, and now they're trying to clean the shit up. Hence, they shut down the slaughterhouses. So now they're killing all the pigs, they're killing all the chickens, they're killing all the cows because all that shit is in the cows that they injected also as well. Now they talk about thousands of testing sites to pull you in by the thousands because they're trying to get rid of what the fuck they did. So it's not corona killing you, only in organ culture and which produced common cold like illness in volunteers. In 1966, Hamry and Prochnow described the recovery of a new virus using standard tissue culture techniques from 5 students, of whom had an upper respiratory tract illness. Okay. The prototype strain 229E was ether labile, possessed an RNA core, measured approximately 89, I think that's mu, and yet was apparently unrelated to any of the myxoviruses of man. That's In 1967, we described the isolation of 6 new ether labile viruses from patients with upper respiratory illness. These agents could be isolated only in human embryonic tracheal organ cultures. The B814 virus, the 229E virus, and the NIH-OC viruses were all shown to possess a similar morphology which resembled that of the avian infectious bronchitis virus, and they call it IBV. Excuse me. But was distinct from that of the myxo. Myxo is, they spell it MYXO, or paramyxovirus. Subsequently, it was found that mouse hepatitis virus shared the common morphologic features of these viruses. As a group, the IBV like viruses of man are fastidious in their host cell requirements. Neither the B814 nor the 6NIHOC virus could be adapted to grow in a monolayer tissue culture system. This has been one big human experiment to see if they could grow viruses in human tissue. Okay? This is what this is. This is from 1969 to see if they could grow viruses in human tissue. Hence, this is why you have allergies. Hence, this is why you have your, even down to even the common cold that you have now today. This is why you have your bronchitis. This is why you have all of these things. They gave it to you. These are students that they were infecting with certain things. So their job is to create viruses. And then this is why they patent and trademark these viruses, because once it's in your body, their property is in your body. Hence, they patent you. This is why they're bringing the door-to-door mobile testing sites, and this is why they're going to use insanity to force their way in your home, to declare you insane, to force their way in your home with the HR 6666 bill. Yes, 4 6s introduced to you by a sellout ass ex Black Panther Negro. I told you about them Black Panther niggas. Y'all ain't want to believe me. Government ops. Put him in a suit and a tie, put his ass in Congress, and he's selling your ass down to the slaughterhouse. God damn it. Told y'all about them. Anything that pushed that whole Pan-African pro-black shit is never nothing good for you. Too much controversy behind them niggas. You see them down in Texas and all these places marching with guns on their shoulders, trying to get you to do the same shit. If you're really at odds with an enemy, you're not letting your enemy know what you got. Oh yes, there's another. I have more articles that ties this in with the census also. Ha ha. So they pissed that a lot of us didn't do the census this year, which is I'm proud. I'm proud of that. So the work that we all of our platforms put in, all of our platforms, even platforms that's not even effing with this platform. I'm proud of y'all too, because we put in that work to get them to get up off of the census. So it's not a lot of us that jumped on that census. All right. So that's one of the things that threw them off a little. All right. This is why they also rushing their shit now. They're rushing it. Okay. But told y'all it's what you call a black man, an ex Black Panther that introduced the HR 6666 bill. And then the judge that arrested the hairdresser that says that she's not closing her business because her workers need to feed their children, he looked like he was a Negro also. Pay attention. This is going back to again the Black Ladina. That all Negroes that look like us aren't us. Some of these are the descendants of the Spaniards and the Portuguese. Okay, from Spain to Portugals. All right, well the Portuguese. Okay, that were brought here to take our place because they looked like us. Okay, I need y'all to really wake up and understand what's going on. This is why you see the Dominicans don't like the Haitians, because chances are they're not mixed with the Haitians with the Haitian bloodline. They're Morenos and Black Latinos that was brought over by Spain, Portugal to replace the Haitians, and the Haitians fought back. This is why the hatred for Haiti till to this very day. Okay. This is why the creation of the Taino camps. They are descendants of your Morenos and Black Latinos. Today called Latino. Wake up. So let's keep going. This is a human testing. They're creating viruses and injecting it in their own students. Now, if they're injecting it in the students, right? Pay attention, because they're injecting it in the students. If they're injecting it in the students, they're experimenting on the students. That means they have an antidote. They have an elixir for it. Because I'm pretty sure they didn't let their students die. There is an elixir for this virus. And what I tell you about viruses, the difference between a virus and a disease is viruses are made in laboratories. And now you're coming to find out that these people made this shit and they made it to try to kill you off. Try to see which one of you are more immune to this stuff because they're looking for the strongest genetics to fix also their birth defects. because they harvest from you. And what they're harvesting cannot be replicated. It can only be taken from the source. So they run out. And when they run out, they come back and they harvest again. Hence, this is why the Clinton aide, which they now made the head of the Amber Alert company, she was caught stealing 30 children out of Haiti. Wake up. This is not a game. And again, for those who are just joining, let me go back to you can get this article. It's from Oxford Journals, Oxford University Press. Like I said, when I'm able to screen share, I'll screen share it back to you guys. It was accessed on 12/09/2016. This is when the person accessed this article. Oxford University Press. The authors are Albert Z. Kapikan. That's two Ks. Kapikian. Harvey D. James Jr. Sarah J. Kelly, Jane H. Dees, Horace C. Turner, Kenneth McIntosh, Hyun Hyun, Wha Wham Kim, Robert H. Parrott, that's Parrott, Monroe M. Vincent, and Robert M. Shannock, that's Chanock. Okay, the source, the Journal of Infectious Diseases, volume 119, number 3, March 1969. So don't let these people act like they just now heard about this goddamn